Veterans are the lifeblood of American freedom, serving in some of the harshest situations to secure that freedom across the globe. This is the Lounge with Legends show, celebrating their transformation from battlefield to business. The Lounge with Legends show with Marty the Moac Martinez and James A. Phelps, a.k.a. Spartan 6.
Catch you off guard, dude.
I was trying to figure out which coffee, which one am I supposed to
do now? We can look like rookies still.
Well, I'm trying to figure out which coffee mug I should be drinking out of. This camouflage one,
the BunkerLabs, brother.
This one, is that the one?
The BunkerLabs. There we go, Emo.
All right, I'll start drinking.
Did you see that? Bam! Veterans Growing America Veterans Connect video.
Who made that video?
What? I think I did.
No way.
Joint Task Force 214. We did that for Donnell. I don't know if you heard of that character. He's been on the show a few times.
I tell you what, if we could get through this episode without me calling him Sergeant Major, oh man, already failed. It's not going to happen. Though. I can't help it. I'm sorry, Sergeant Major. Before you get on here, I'm going to go ahead and let you know it's going to happen once or twice.
Hey, I am excited about this. We are bringing on. We've been talking about BunkerLabs since we were announced that we were. In Veterans, Veterans in Residence 22 Alpha DC. And now what we're doing is we're bringing in some of our brothers and we're going to talk about what they're doing. But before we even get to that, I think we have an announcement, another big announcement.
I don't even, are you going to announce that? Go ahead, announce that. Go ahead. You should announce it. It's kind of big news, right?
I think it is, but so let's announce we were selected. Bam! Lounge with Legends live speaker Podfest Expo, Orlando, Florida, May 26th to the 29th. Your boys are going to be there. We're talking live. We're going to have some discount codes for you all. We're going to be talking about what other than veteran success and what it's like for us. And so we are going to be live on stage. If you're not familiar with the Podfest Expo, they just got their second in a row Guinness Book World Record for largest Podfest conference in the world. So
before you say it, I promise I'll buy a new mic before we go there.
You should. But I'm excited about it. I know you're excited. We've got a lot of work to do between now and May, but looking forward to it, brother. So that's one of our big announcements that we've got going on.
I mean, it's great. I mean, it's just I love seeing the behind the scenes things that are being created and developed and relationships that are fostering that we don't know that's in the works, right?
Yeah.
It's amazing to know if you put your trust in the, I'm a believer. So you put your trust where it belongs and everything else he will take care of and provide. So it's amazing. It's not like the rest of them. Is that Nick actually congratulating us? You know what, Nick? I owe you a hat. I owe you a hat. As soon as Ruben gets us all our hats, I'll get you a hat. I promise.
That was Ruben from last week where Chris did the Puerto Rican Mike Tyson impersonation. So if you watched it last week, you know what Ruben sounds like. Thanks, Nick. And but yeah, so but what else has been going on with you? I heard you got some snow down there.
Well, if you followed me, we did get some snow. We did.
I'm laughing because you guys got some snow. Okay. Okay.
I'm glad you didn't pull up any pictures of the snowman that I made with my daughter. It was about, we made it. It ended up being about approximately 12 inches, and it really was. And it was sitting there, and I was like, "Why is our snowman so small?" But it was perfect. It was great. We had a great time, and I love the snow. Now it's gone, but thank God that's happened.
It looked like your munchkin had a blast, and so that's all that matters. Making those memories. But so I'm excited. We've got 2 guests that we're going to do today. We're going to bring them on one at a time. So, which do we bring on now? Do we bring on the jet lagged one, or do we bring on the other one?
Let's bring on whoever wants to come on. But at the same time, here's what I was going to say before you bring them on. We're actually bringing on someone that's actually doing the work right now. Like, so it's going to be live, like in the kitchen, probably. It might be in the kitchen when we're doing this next one. So let's bring on the Sergeant Major and let him talk about Veterans in America and the changes there.
All right, let's do it. Let's bring him on. Bam, Big D. Veterans Grow in America.
Hold on. Before y'all introduce me, man, y'all just announced some powerful stuff. Podfest Expo?
What?
Podfest Expo?
Yes, sir.
Hold on, I'm gonna just say it one more time. Podfest Expo. For those of you,
year in a row for us.
That's amazing. I am so I'm just so happy for you guys, and you guys are making a difference in our community, and I'm so happy for you guys making it to Podfest Expo. In fact, Andrew Weiss, the founder of that organization, was actually on our 1 Million Cups.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No, great. Congratulations. I'm so happy.
It's hard. It's hard to get in there. A lot of applications went in. They were talking about that yesterday in the town hall, but yeah, a lot of
Truth in Lending. Donnell, they almost didn't let us go in because I got a little cheap JLab mic. So they were like, "You can't come in there with that mic." I said, "Okay, I'll get a new mic now. I'm sorry. I apologize."
How about my cheap one right here? Hold on.
Marty's got the Blue Yeti, so I didn't, JLab anyway.
We got a lot of ground to cover, but I wanted to welcome you, Veterans Grow in America. You just started Veterans Connect. Yes. Since you last been on, we just showed the commercial. Amazing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do another countdown for the next guest. This is new. We've never done this before. So I'm going to do another countdown. Let's bring on the next guest. Are you ready? I'm ready. Bam.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
What is going on, brother?
Good to see everybody. I'm Chef Davis. I own and I am the head chef at Brewfood VA, which is it's a catering company that specializes in bringing fresh hot food into breweries, distilleries, cideries, wineries, and all of the places that normally wouldn't have food but have drinking guests. So very exciting. There's some other revenue streams that we're getting into this year that I'm really excited to talk about. But let me congratulate you guys on getting into Podfest Expo this year. It's going to be an amazing time in Florida, and it couldn't happen to a better group of guys. This is such a worthy message, and I have record. I'm sure it's going to be yet another Guinness World Record for the most attendees to a podcast at one time, and I'm just so excited that you guys are part of that. Congratulations again.
I appreciate it. Yeah, they got over 5,000 people live last year, 2 years
wow.
in a row. 5,000.
Wow.
We'll be there. We got a stage.
Getting it done, man.
You have a short joke for me somewhere in there, but
also for me, I really consider it an honor to be on Lounge with Legends. It's a very inspirational title, and hopefully at some point in the not too distant future, all all of us will earn that title or be considered legends in our own time, if not just legends in our own minds. But you have to have that kind of mindset where, you know, this is what I'm doing with my life, and it's going to be legendary. I definitely think that so many of the things that I see a lot of the other veterans doing in the VIR, the Veterans in Residence program through BunkerLabs, are absolutely legendary.
Yeah, so you mentioned VIR. So those that follow the show know Donnell. I know that we met in 2018, 2019 at IVMF.
You say 1849?
1849, yeah. Well, okay. We met on the escalator, said we gotta talk. But you're new to the game. We met you through BunkerLabs and the Veteran in Residence program. And so if you're not tracking and you're a transitioning veteran thinking about entrepreneurship, we've already had Stephanie Brown with the Rosie Network. We've talked about that. Now we've got BunkerLabs, which we're in, another amazing network. And that's how we met Chef here in DC. We're in the veterans program, but they're all over the country. We had Annette Wittenberger. She was on, back in June. She's actually over in the Austin VIR. So she's over there. So they're all over. You'll see some of our former legends in Veterans in Residence. So I am honored to meet with Chef, and eventually we're all going to link up with at WeWorks, because I think what people don't realize is when you get part of the BunkerLabs VIRs, you get a WeWorks. Well, you get a T-shirt too, but you also get a 6-month WeWorks membership. And I know Donnell's been taking advantage of the penthouse.
So I got to make a complaint real quick. Sergeant Major, Chef, here's what I get from you guys. Got a nice shirt. You got the WeWorks card. I got the mug and I got a pen. Marty kept the shirt.
Oh, we got the mugs and the pens too.
He didn't give me the shirt. I got to get the shirt. But anyway, I'm just kidding. But, you know, it's great that, you know, the thing that I love about this is that community of bringing everyone together to, collaborate together and elevate together. So I'm excited to be involved. I'm excited to hear your story.
So I'm gonna say this. So I know before I get to Chef and Donnell, after like our first session with BunkerLabs, you guys started collaborating right off the bat, which was huge. Before I get to that, here's what I want to do, because you went right into it. There was no warming up. You just went right into it, Chef. But what I want to do is let's do this. Let's talk about what is on Instagram here, Brewfood VA.
Oh yeah, that's my baby.
Yeah. Oh wait. If you notice, I haven't even followed it. I'm probably look at that.
I'm clicking right now. So let's watch this grow up. We got to make this grow.
There we go.
We want to get him to 2,000. Let's see how many we can get. Let's see if we get him to 2,000 before next week.
All right. I appreciate that.
So 1947. So let's see if that goes up during the show here.
There you go.
So what is this? I see all.
So this is this first picture here. This is my world famous Nashville hot. And what you do is you have a thick slab of Texas toast. You put a couple of bread and butter pickles on there, and then the Nashville hot sauce, which is not vinegar based. It's actually sugar and bourbon based with some dried chili powder in there. So it's just an amazing barbecue sauce, and then you got some coleslaw in the background to cool down that heat. So people see it and they think it's going to taste like buffalo wing sauce, but it's not. It's very different. It's a great sauce. If you haven't had Nashville hot, you need to check that out.
And then of course during lunchtime.
Oh yeah, and then we got the brats and pretzels that I do a lot throughout the month at different breweries, especially German. When serving up with German beer. We have the red velvet waffles down here on the left, and I do those with chicken and waffles. And then in the top right, we've got this is called Devil in the Hen House, and this is my signature, my specialty recipe for chicken and waffles. It is devil's food cake waffles, if you can believe that, with powdered sugar and spicy chicken strips, and just those flavor combinations go together so well. It's amazing. And you can also get a full brunch with that, with bacon, eggs, ham, sausage, the grits and hash browns comes with that as well. So it's just full on. If you want to scroll down a little more, you can see.
I'm going to scroll up to your description again. So you're a local veteran. So what does this mean? Best in-house food solution for foodless breweries. What does that mean?
So here in the DMV, and a lot of people may not know this, but if you manufacture...
What's the DMV for those that aren't in the area?
Oh, okay. The DMV is not the Department of Motor Vehicles. It is the DC, DC, Maryland, and Virginia metropolitan area. So it's like a hub, kind of like a triangle, research triangle is lots of different cities, or the Tri-Cities area. So that we call it the DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia. And in this region, if you manufacture and distribute alcohol, you are not legally allowed to process food as well at that same location. So a lot of these breweries, just like there's some restaurants that are dry restaurants and they don't serve alcohol, all these breweries and distilleries are foodless. So they have to rely on food trucks and or just let people order whatever they want to order from any of the ordering apps, or they can bring in their own food. But my solution to all these problems, food trucks are a great business. Some of my best friends own food trucks, so I definitely don't have anything against food trucks. But as far as the business model, I personally have encountered, going into breweries as a customer, sometimes the food truck will be announced that it's going to be there, and then maybe it rains, so they can't show up because they're outside. Nobody's going to stand in line in the rain for 10 minutes for a $12 hot dog or whatever the case may be. Or they break down, or they may just not show up for any number of reasons. But even if they do show up, still most food trucks are, for lack of a better term, one-trick ponies. Right. Once you paint a giant taco on the side of your truck, it's hard to sell anything else. So if the brewery under the best so the brewery has to wrangle 5 or 6 different trucks a week just to get some good variety, because you want variety. But with me, I solved all those problems. I'm indoors as a caterer, so I set up a whole steam table. You walk into the brewery, you see the food, you smell the food, you see the chef there serving it to you fresh, hot, and there's no questions about you can see the food right there. And then the second thing is I can do Philly cheesesteaks one day, meatball subs the next day, brats and pretzels the next day, tacos the next day, sliders the next day, barbecue the next day. So endless variety. And I can sell things that most food trucks don't even sell. Like, we have a surf and turf that we do for the holidays. And I did a full-on authentic Chinese ramen plate with everything. Actually, if you want to scroll down, that's one of the ones I'm most proud of. If you want to, Marty, if you could scroll down that page a little bit. Why don't you get me talking about food, man? You put your quarter in, so you're along for the ride now. Keep scrolling down. A little more.
Oh my God. Look at this stuff.
Yeah, so it should be coming up here, right there. Scroll down a little bit. It's in the middle, the top right. Yep. I think you passed it. Go back up. Anyway, it's the ramen, and if you keep going. One more. Right there. Yeah. So this has gyoza, which is a Japanese dumpling, and then it also has all of the. I don't know if you can enlarge that picture, but it has all the best things in ramen. It's got roasted pork, roasted mushrooms, diced onions. It's even got the seaweed and the radish in the back with hoisin sauce, and the next one, hoisin sauce, and then the spring rolls on the side there. And that's full-on ramen. Underneath there, you can see it's got the broth and the noodles and roasted pork. This sold out. I brought 100 orders. It sold out in, I think it was 40 minutes, and it was supposed to be like a 4-hour meal. And I was just, really slinging hash that night. I was working as fast as I could to get those orders out. I was doing about 2 a minute, just compiling everything right there in front of everybody. And that's another part of it. It's almost like a show sometimes at these breweries, and it's definitely a different experience than just walking up to a truck and getting a basket of food. You get to actually interact with the person making your food, and that's what it's all about with me. It's all about people. But this was for Chinese New Year, and again, we have being a chef, I have the flexibility and the agility to adjust my menu to whatever the breweries need or want. We have different holiday menus, and for any brewery out there that's looking for regular in-house service, please go ahead and contact me. And Marty might put my information up on screen later towards the end of the show, but not just breweries. We have lots of different revenue streams. We also do in-house catering, of course. That's probably my bread and butter as far as price point. We do weddings and graduations, the whole thing. But we also do farmers markets. And the year after I got out of the military, I used my GI Bill to go to culinary school. And 3 days after I graduated, my company was picked up by Whole Foods. And so my professional start in this business was just, I swing for the fences, and I took some product in raw, just a cold call. I took some Mexican tamales into Whole Foods on Duke Street in Alexandria, Virginia. And they ordered 600 tamales from me on the spot. And I told them, I said, look, I made these at my house. I just got out of culinary school. There's got to be rules and regulations and laws about food manufacturing. And the lady said, give me 1 second. She went to the back. This was the store manager at the time. And she brought out this packet. And she said, in here you'll find a list of commercial kitchens in the area. You'll find all the insurance documents that you need. And you're going to be under our liability insurance for the first 6 months. This is how we do new vendors. You've got 6 months to work this out, but in the meantime, there's a clause that allows you to make these as a cottage industry, and sell them directly to us. So I did that. It only took me, I jumped on it right away. It only took me 2 weeks to get into a commercial kitchen, and then I brought some people in on staff, and Whole Foods paid me in advance for several orders, and I just have never looked back. We ended up having a complete line of Mexican food with tamales, salsas, and flan. Those of you who don't know what flan is, it's a delicious Mexican dessert. It's kind of like creme brulee. So we had about 22 different SKUs of barcodes at Whole Foods, and we went from that one store in Alexandria to 12 stores all over the DMV. And then we started getting into farmers markets. Some of my Whole Foods customers would come into the market and they'd say, hey, you've got your little demo table here. If you were out at a farmer's market, just put a tent around this and you're a farmer's market vendor. And that never would have occurred to me because culinary was not my original career in the military. And everything I've learned about it, I've learned on the fly. So my customers have given me some of my best ideas. And I looked up some farmers markets and I ended up getting in because nobody had fresh hot Mexican food that they were making right there. And you got to bring something new to the game. And then from the farmers markets, again, it was by customers. There was this lovely woman that used to come in, and she was probably in her 60s, and she would always come and buy 2 orders of tacos or 2 orders of tamales or whatever it was. And I asked her, I said, Miss Nancy, why do you always bring that buy 2 orders? Who's that second order for? And it was the funniest thing because I just wasn't expecting this to be her answer. And she said, oh, it's March Madness, and my daughter and I never miss a game. So, some of these breweries, they had the games on, and there's a brewery right on the corner, and they never have food. Sometimes their truck cancels. And she said, you should go in and talk to those guys because they'd probably let you set up a table. And lo and behold, 3 years and 46 breweries later, here we are. And it's just, all these guys in the industry know each other, and that can be a positive thing or a negative thing because your reputation will precede you. And I have to say, which kind of brings me to my next point of hiring. I have stretched myself too thin from time to time, and it's a hard thing when you promote yourself as being this end all for I've solved all the brewery's problems, and then you don't show up, or you can't show up, or your guy can't show up, and then you end up with egg on your face. And that has happened to me before. I've overstretched myself, or I've relied too heavily on things that I hoped would happen as opposed to things that I have to make happen. And those are some of the pitfalls of owning a business. And it was hard for me to get around that, hiring people and trusting people to work as well as I do. I felt like I had to be everywhere at the same time. And the most disciplined and loyal and responsible people I know are veterans. And I just made a full stop. I'm hiring vets.
Well, let me volunteer, Chef. Let me volunteer.
Oh, yeah.
Marty.
Yeah.
Volunteer Marty
There you go.
Chef. He's actually one of the things. The other part of the MOAC. He's actually a great chef. I don't know if you knew that fun fact.
Hey, we could do a guest chef, man. Maybe we can do one of these from my kitchen and just have
Let's do an episode in the future. Let's go ahead and plan it now. It's going to be farther out, but let's plan from the kitchen, the MOAC versus Chef Davis.
That would be that would be such a fun like a holiday show.
Let's do it.
I love it. But again, getting back
here's what I want to say. So with Bunker Labs, what I love is that, bro, you're already established. I mean, you're running. You're up and running. COVID was your jam. A lot of business were struggling. You're already up and established. And in Bunker Labs, there's some others that, you know what, Casey, you're done. I'm done with you.
They don't see that post yet. There you go.
But you're up and running and stuff. And then there's others that are still just a little bit beyond ideation. But what I love is that you realize still, hey, we all need help. Sometimes we need not a handout, but a hand up. And when we run our first call, what I was getting to the beginning was you were like, hey, anybody in Woodbridge that could help me. And then comes in Big D, Sergeant Major. You know, he's like, I got you. And then,
as a sergeant major, he has a long, and I'm sure storied history of looking after troops. I mean, that's the job. The greatest leader among us is the servant, and I really appreciate how you stepped up with that answer right away.
So Donnell, what happened there? You said, "Hey, I got this. Put it in my rucksack. Let's work together." What happened there?
No, I mean, Chef said he needed something, and I go out and try to meet as many people as possible because you never know where synergy happens. The Veteran Employment Commission has a great program where they help veterans get jobs, and they also help organizations find veterans. And Chef needed some employment. So why not connect him with the people that make things happen? I mean, if I was to hire some people, I want to hire within our community. So I connect them with a resource that can help him hire people within our community, and that's what it's about.
It was the exact resource I needed. I just wanted a pool of ready veterans or people who were transitioning out and had already signed up with the Virginia Employment Commission, I believe it is, and were ready to be employed or would be employable in a couple of weeks. And my whole thing is, I'm going to give you what you need. I will pay for your kitchen manager's license or your ServSafe certification, and I'll train you for 2 weeks in the kitchen, full-time paid training, and get you to the point where you can do basically whatever I do, whether it's serving or prep, and take some of those things off my plate. And now I have that. I was able to make that connection with the veterans representative at Virginia State, and I'm really looking forward to putting some of these vets to work and growing this company.
Hey, here's what I want to do, gents. Let's cut to commercial. We have another one of our Bunker Labs cohorts coming in. She's in the green room right now. So let's cut to commercial. We're going to come back. We'll bring her in. All 5 of us will be here. We'll introduce her and we'll talk about what she's doing, because I think she's kind of pertinent to the season that we're in now. So let's do that. And let's talk about how you need to go out and go get some MOAC coffee from Third Day Seguin.
You're watching the Lounge with Legends TV show with your hosts, Marty Martinez and James A. Feltz.
Hey, all right. If you're just tuning in, we've got our fellow BunkerLabs 22 Alpha Veterans in Residence DC joining us. We've already talked to Chef. Donnell keeps saying he's Coast Guard. I don't know what that's about, but I think he's Army. But so we got Donnell, we've got Chef, and we've got someone else that just tuned in. So we're going to talk about her and what she's got going on. So are you ready for this, James?
I can't handle this, man. This is too many. This is too much information, too much synergy. No, this is amazing. Seriously.
We do another countdown?
Yeah, do the countdown.
Bam. 3 countdowns, 1 episode.
You look better when you're smaller, by the way.
I look better when I'm smaller. Thank you very much.
I'm glad you're in the smaller screen.
Very little. So, who's the new person? Introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. I hope you guys are doing well. Great broadcast so far. I'm enjoying it.
Oh, we appreciate it. Thanks for joining us, Clarice.
Nice to see you, Clarice.
Hi. All right. So just to introduce myself, my name is Clarice Williams. I'm an Air Force veteran spouse, and I'm the owner of Webb's Tax Preparation and Bookkeeping Services. I have over 12 years of federal government experience with the IRS and the Office of Inspector General as an auditor. In both roles, I was performing auditing and accounting services. And the idea of my business just came from helping a family friend, and it grew from there. So yeah, right now our clients are in need of catching up on their taxes, and they need services. They may be afraid of going to the IRS, but we are here to remove that fear. So that's all about me in a nutshell.
James, now you see why I say relative to this season?
I know. She said IRS. I started getting like this.
You know, Clarice, this might be a fun connect. It's not necessarily veteran related, but my brother is he's the head of the anti-fraud division for all of Colorado. So he runs all the anti-fraud division for the IRS and all of Colorado, and his middle name is Audit. I mean, that's what he does, and he has a whole team of people that do that. So that might be a fun connect.
Oh wow.
It would be. I'll definitely reach out to you to get that info.
Clarice, how did you get into this? How did you get into this line of work?
Sure. So I've actually, since my dad showed me how to do my own taxes at 16 years old, I've always been interested in accounting type work. So I worked with Jackson Hewitt I believe I started when I was 20. And I worked with them for 6 seasons before doing a few other jobs here and there before I landed in Jersey. And then I got my accounting degree in accounting. Well, yeah, I got my associates and bachelor's. I'm actually working on my MBA right now. And then eventually I will sit for the CPA. But yeah, I've been all about taxes and accounting for a while, and it's all thanks to my dad.
Oh, that's awesome. Fun fact, James is a Air Force brat. So
Air Force, yes. I won't say it's the best branch it is, but we know
it is.
You're not lying, but anyway.
Right. So how did you find BunkerLabs?
Mm-hmm. So I'm a sucker for research, right? As an auditor, that's what we do. We dig, and look. So I found BunkerLabs through one of my military groups. So then I applied, even though I thought it was a long shot. So I was so surprised when they picked me. And because of that, I've met so many other wonderful entrepreneurs, and I was able to get access, the best thing I got from BunkerLabs was accountability. Being able to go to my cohort every week and just share what I hope to achieve. And if I met my goal, right, you need a team for that, because sometimes you're just sitting around talking to your family and friends about what you're doing, and they don't give you that feedback that you need to feed your business, right? So that's what BunkerLabs really did for me. And I'm not knocking family or friends, not at all. Don't let I'm not doing that.
Yeah, Clarice, I can definitely second that. You know, with the that was my ask. That was my first ask. The first day was, will all you guys follow up with me and make sure that I'm doing the things I'm saying I'm going to be doing, and speak things into existence and then make them happen. And there's not a more powerful motivator than knowing, hey, I'm going to see all these guys in a couple of days here, and I said I was going to do X, Y, Z, and they're going to check up on me. So yeah, I 100% get behind that accountability factor. I love it.
Mm-hmm. And Clarice, how are you working with Donnell and Veterans Growing America, or not quite yet?
Oh, we've talked plenty of times, and we're getting ready to, I'm getting ready to participate with, he wanted to bring more educational elements to Veterans Growing America. So that's where I'm coming in, where I definitely want to assist him with that. One thing I'll say, and this is just deriving from my experience with the federal government, is that proprietorship income, partnership income, all of who we are, right? They have a high rate of being audited with the IRS because it's one of the, these are businesses that don't always have good sources to track income with. So sometimes the IRS is a little bit harder on them. So I definitely want to be the voice to let other business entrepreneurs know what the IRS is looking for, to help them make sure their audit business audit ready, right? Make sure they stay ready. What's that motto? Stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that. Now that you say that, just so we have this on record, Marty Martinez is the owner of Joint Task Force 214.
Oh, man. It's like that, huh? Okay. I was gonna say, Jose, are you listening, Jose? You need to look her up. Jose, he'll put something in the comments. He was Navy, so anyways. But no, this is awesome. So again, we've all come together with BunkerLabs, another great resource for veterans and spouses. I'm both. And it's one of those things that I just love. Now, it was one of the promises that I had coming in was I was going to help those in my cohort increase their marketing reach through the podcast. And if I can help them with what we do with Joint Task Force 214, and this is one of the ways we can do it. So, and I know definitely I'm going to go reach out to Chef now, looking at his Instagram site, because again, this is a terrible time to be looking at his Instagram site, but I am starving Marvin now.
Hey, let's check that number, see if we got any clicks on that in the last half hour or so.
Let's see. Let me pull it up.
You might have to refresh. I don't think it'll
refresh. Gonna refresh. Oh man, come on, we can do better than this.
All right.
Drum roll.
Let's see. 1948.
Hey, that's four. That's 4.5 an hour. That's one every 8 minutes.
We can do that.
Yeah.
Casey West, you need to go on here, like it. Jose.
There we go.
Clan.
The Feltz family.
There's like a million of them. So
no, that's not bad at all.
We can do this. I noticed Donnell hasn't liked it yet.
I know.
But
all of that veterans going.
That's why the numbers didn't go up. I liked it yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's what it is.
Sergeant Major, there he is. Sergeant Major showed up.
Yeah, this is great. So, so I guess from a tax perspective, what's the number one? Oh, she's gone. Okay, I was about to get into taxes.
What happened? Where'd she go?
She'll come back.
We'll bring her back in. But okay. So let me ask you this, Chef. How'd you get into this? What was your MOS?
Well, see, I started off medical, and there's a couple of different stories here, so I'll make them as concise as I can.
What happened was.
Yeah. See, what happened was, I'm number 11 out of 12 kids, so that's the first thing. And for me, food means family, and I grew up with an amazing Southern mom, Southern cook. She would do it up every day, and it's always been close to my heart. So fast forward, I graduated high school at 16, and I had a couple scholarship opportunities. Went to Mexico and studied down there, got 2 degrees, came back, and I had another scholarship. I wanted to go to medical school, so I always wanted to be a doctor, or so I thought. And I had the opportunity to take up a scholarship at UCSD Medical Center in San Diego, where I lived at the time. So halfway through medical school, 9/11 happens, and just watching that happen, I had a new daughter at the time, and I just didn't want her to grow up in a world where that sort of thing could happen. And the very next day, on September 12th, I went to my recruiting office locally and joined the Army that day. And I just felt like, just watching all that happen, I felt so powerless to do anything about that. And I felt like becoming a soldier would give me at least a fighting chance and helping determine the direction our country was going to take, and defending freedom and everything that we stand for. And it was one of the best decisions I ever made in my life. Exactly 1 month later, on October 11th, I was at basic training. I went back home after basic training, and we had a couple of days in between before I went to my AIT. And I had originally been assigned as a Chinese linguist because there's this crazy test they give you when you join the military, and it determines your aptitude for learning languages. I already spoke several languages, so they assigned me Chinese. But then I was pulled out of that program, and they realized I had a medical background and I could probably be more useful in the medical field. So they sent me to the Army Medical Academy in Fort Sam Houston, San Antonio, Texas, and I graduated. I finished my medical degree there. I chose biomedical engineering because at the time, anthrax was being sent in the mail right here in the DC area, and there had been some sarin gas attacks in a Tokyo subway station. So Congress was throwing a lot of money at what we call asymmetrical warfare, or non-linear warfare, basically anything that's not bombs and guns and tanks. So that was right up my alley. That's exactly what I did. So I was medical intel, specifically counter-chemical terrorism, counter-bioterrorism. And I was stationed at DTRA, which is the Defense Threat Reduction Agency, for several years. I actually started and ran a program over there, became deputy director of that program. And then that's when I got out of the military. There were some political aspects to it. I hate to say, but I knew that I would never be appointed director in that shop. So I opted out. I picked up a job as basically a job with Big Pharma in Boston. I worked for a company called Novartis, which makes a lot of amazing things that people, everyday products that people use all over the world. And 6 months later, I get a call from my old CO, and he says, "Hey, Davis, there's really nobody down here that, you ran this program for several years, and we need you to come back down here if you can do that." And I said, "Well, I can't just rejoin the Army. That's a military slot. That's a military billet, a military slot." And he said, "Let me talk to SecDef and see if I can get it switched over to a civilian billet." And they did. He called me back about an hour later, and they threw a number at me and said, "If you can come back down here as a civilian, you can have your old job back." So I did. I came back down, and I'd have been a fool not to at the time, the growing family and that whole thing. And I did that for about 3 more years. But again, 3 more years as deputy director, man. And there were people coming in, getting promoted on top of me, and that's when I realized, I just really need to do my own doggone thing. The only way to be where I want to be as a person and as an example to my kids, and to feel completely fulfilled, I have to be able to have much more control over, whether or not I'm going to have a job or have the kind of job I want. And the only way to do that is to make my own job. So that's what I did. I decided to use my GI Bill to go to culinary school. And we talked about this shortly before the program aired, but 3 days after I got out of culinary school, I got picked up by Whole Foods, and the rest is history. So I figured I had to do something that I would really love. I had to find a passion. Now, I love medicine, and I spent most of my time in labs, Biosafety 3 labs, things like you see on, things like you see on TV, and these, wearing the bunny suit with the little glass front, and you have to get hosed off before you can leave the place. And it's it was pretty hairy stuff, but I loved it. I loved the precision of it. I loved the intensity of it, and it's very necessary in this world, unfortunately, to have those types of protections in place. But now I get to put healthy things in people's bodies. I don't manufacture drugs or prophylactic types of mitigators for Ebola. I don't do any of that anymore. But everything I make and put in people's bodies, I know it's going to be healthy. I know it's something I would feed my own kids, and something I can be proud to put my name on. And the biggest thing about what I do now is I get to give other people the opportunity to pursue their dreams. If they're just graduating from culinary school, part of the thing is you can't graduate from culinary school unless you do what's called a STOJ, which is a 30 day Jose Roberto Alañez Jr. I appreciate that. I would say I'm probably not, but that's a very kind sentiment. But you have to do 30 days. It's kind of like an internship. The same with medical school. You can't become a doctor until you've done. You can't get your own practice until you've done your residency and that whole thing. And with the chef, you have to do a 30-day trial period, basically, where you're a gopher or whatever you want to call it. You have to work in a professional kitchen for 30 days. So I have a lot of wannabe graduates. They have to go somewhere, so I give them an opportunity to work for me for 30 days, get their foot in the door, and it's kind of like doing for the students what I'm doing, what I want to do for veterans, is just give them an opportunity to see if this is what you really want to do, and make the best of that trial period. And most of them go on and do great things with other companies, and a couple of them have stuck with me the whole time. So it's just a great opportunity.
I tell you what, Chef, I keep looking down because my phone is getting blown up. Like, how do we connect? We're definitely going to get some in the comments. We're going to get some connections to you, because you're doing some amazing things through the power of food, right? Because I love your analogy when it comes to family. When you think about that time spent around that table together, and it's just not about the food. It's the celebration and celebrating life together. So I love that.
That's right. And we would always invite, if it was me and because again, number 11 of 12 kids, there were kids at every age group, and all of us had our own little group of friends. And when my mom said it was dinner time, everybody came in from playing ball on the street, or not just the Davis kids. Everybody, all the kids came in and got fed. And fortunately, we were that house. And if I've sat down and had a meal with you, we're brothers. If food is family. If we've sat down and had a meal, we're family. And I was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to do that with Donnell a few weeks back. We set up a time to get together, had a meal, just really got to exchange some great ideas. And that's why I do this, is for the camaraderie of it, and just for the family of it. Food is family. I live by that.
And I don't know if you've noticed, but looking at James, you can tell he likes food.
My mother's a good chef.
Well, for anybody who happens to, you said making connections, it's super easy. The name of my company is Brewfood VA, BREWFOOD VA. You can find me on Instagram at Brewfood VA, and there you go. Thank you much, Jose. And you can contact me at chef, CHEF, at brewfoodva.com. And yeah, that's it. It's just that simple. Just make your connections, whatever it is you need. If I can provide it, I'm happy to do that.
Awesome.
And thanks so much for this exposure, Marty. This is priceless. I really appreciate it.
Oh, bro, this is...
And James.
This is great.
You got to have Batman and Robin. It's okay to be Robin.
There you go.
But no, this is exactly what we want to do, though, is highlight veteran success and things that are out there. And yeah, I mean, I didn't know, you're like an onion with all the different layers the things that you had done, you know?
Well, that's part of the package. There's a saying in Spanish. It goes like this: "Más sabe el diablo por viejo que por diablo," and that means the devil knows more for being old than for being the devil. And once you've been around over half a century, you just have these experiences. If you go through life and you pay attention and you remember the things that happened to you, you will have a wealth of rich memories and opportunities, and just it has really nothing to do. I don't have any particular skill set or any kind of accelerated intelligence or anything like that. I just really pay attention to people, and I remember the things that I do and say, and try to make sure that my life is consistent with my ideals.
Absolutely. No, I appreciate it, and I think Donnell, you're really quiet today, and that's kind of concerning me, brother. What do you got, brother?
No, man, it's first of all, Clarice just hit me up and she said that her connection keeps dropping, but okay. I'm excited about today. And the reason being is because this is collaboration right here. Mm-hmm. And what you guys do as an organization, is tell these stories of veteran success. And that's what Veterans Growing America is about. And that's why we are, partnering with you guys, because we spotlight veteran entrepreneurs, and we do that in a way that, people can see us as human beings. People can see us as leaders and as entrepreneurs. You had Clarice on earlier, and at our virtual Veterans Connect on February 10th, she's going to be giving out tax information to the people that are a part of that community. And in addition to that, we get to meet each other. And, when I retired and got out the military, I thought I wanted to be away from, the veteran community, but I realized that I needed to be around the veteran community because there's amazing people like Chef. I mean, look at his food and look at the amazing stuff that he does. And there's countless stories out there about communities that do that. And I wanted to find a place where, while I'm in business and doing things, that I can collaborate with other business owners, other veteran business owners that have the same mission and the same passion that I do. And that's where Veterans Growing America was born. In addition to that, we're in, the Veterans in Residence program. And so we have programs like this that we can continue our education as business owners, collaborate as business owners, and just take our businesses to the next level. And so where VGA comes into place is that there's education and then there's execution of education. When you leave a school like BunkerLabs or the Rosie Network or any of these other programs, you need a place for us to come together and work together as one unit. And that's where Veterans Growing America, stands in for people. And so you can communicate, you can collaborate, you can share ideas and make money at the same time. And that's a win-win for everybody. And so, man, it's so cool to be on this show because I love that you guys share stories of success, and I'm just happy to be here. That's why I was listening, and I'm getting hungry listening to Chef because I'm looking at his Instagram page and I'm like, man, I can't wait to get some of that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll let you know where I'm going to be this weekend. And one of the cool things is I was just able to hook up one of my friends. Vets always get a discount, friends and family discount. Veterans, veterans, medical personnel, and educators get 10 to 15% discount just across the board. And I was able to do a change of command ceremony for one of my friends just on Monday, 2 days ago, and he's taken over command at Walter Reed. So he decided that he wanted to treat his troops right. He ordered this just amazing chicken marsala with jasmine rice and roasted garlic and herb baby buttered potatoes. Baby buttered carrots, and they loved it. And from that event, I got 3 new events, and people just really love what they saw. And that's the active duty military community. But that's going to transition and translate right into, you know, the veterans and other people in that circle. And it's just such a, you know, I love the way we take care of each other, because they could choose anybody. Right. And if he chose me, you know, and I'm a vet, and it couldn't have worked out any better than it did. I was really grateful for this entire community.
Chef, we need to get you to serve some Moac coffee at your events.
I'd love that. Yeah, and I am a coffeeholic.
It's the Texas pecan roast that Jose Roberto roast just for the Moac. So
that is awesome.
Get you a bag of it next time we see each other at WeWorks or something.
But, well, you mentioned that, Marty, real quick before we move on. Let's lock in a date. And I want all four of us. I want to come. I want to break bread. I want to eat. I want to come up there. And
you know, we're supposed to be doing that on the 4th, if I'm not mistaken, right, Donnell? Yep. We already have that locked in at the Tyson's WeWork on February 4th. So it's going to be a week from this Friday.
Yeah. So what happened?
That's already done.
I saw pictures of Chef's food, right? And I was just like, hey, on February 4th, we got to come get together and eat some of Chef's food. And so we're going to be at the Tyson's WeWork on February 4th. It's going to be delicious.
You know, fun story. Before I was even part of Veterans in Residence, I did this pitch competition for street shares.
Yeah.
And
our Crocodile.
Yeah. And I ended up, I didn't have the $400. This was a few years back. I didn't want to spend $400 on a pitch competition. So I offered the guy to bring food and cater that event in lieu of my entrance. And he said yes, and doggone if I didn't win that pitch competition. And it wasn't because of the food, but the funny thing is that was my first exposure to WeWork. It was at a WeWork facility, and I have pictures of that. And I just thought that the WeWork, the whole setup was so cool, and you can rent out office space and all that. I was just gushing about it, and now I actually get to live that every day, and I'm part of this amazing Veterans in Residence program. So it's funny how things come full circle. You just put yourself out there, and like I said, it just happens.
So here's what we're going to do. Donnell, you've already answered the freedom means question, so it's that time. We're going to ask Chef Davis. You've served, you've sacrificed. Obviously, you have such a compelling story. Chef, what does freedom mean to you?
Well, freedom to me has a lot of different connotations. There's actual physical freedom. There's the emotional freedom, spiritual freedom. But I think just what I touched on earlier in the broadcast, freedom to me meant making sure my daughter has a safe place to grow up in this world. That's why I joined the military. And from another sense, being an African American in this country, my great grandfather was born a slave, and that's only 3-4 generations back. It's not ancient history, and I know the stories that my grandfather told my father and that my father told me, and these stories I tell my children. Freedom means having the opportunity to make the world better for others, and that's what all of my predecessors did. That's what I hope to be able to do. That's what I try to do every day for anyone and everyone around me. And just being able to live in a country where you can speak our minds and create opportunities not only for yourself but for others. That to me is that's what freedom means. Better lives for all the people around you.
Love it. And then thanks to our sponsor, A-Rod over at Salute to Suits, helping transitioning veterans look sharp with their suits as they get out. Thank you for that, and thank you for that wonderful answer. Chef, it was great. I think Nick is going to go eat now.
Nick always eating.
Yeah, it was my honor, Marty, to be on this show, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate you having selected me to do this. It's just a great honor, great pleasure. Thank you so much.
Brother, it was absolutely amazing. Thanks to you, Donnell, Clarice. Check out Clarice. I know tax season's coming quick. And then, oh, by the way, check out Veterans Connect. Coming up February 10th. I'm looking at you, Jose. You need to be in there, brother. And then I'll connect Chef and Jose to get you some Moac coffee.
Oh yeah. And if Jose needs private chefing or any kind of catering services at his job, hook me up.
All right, I appreciate it, gentlemen. I'm going to put you guys in the green room and close it out with James.
Thanks so much, guys. See you Friday.
All right, brother. Huge
we got to reschedule. I'll bring him back on. I want to hear the rest of the story. I'm sitting here on the edge of my seat like this. And then, I know that, Donnell's got some stuff too. It's like, wow, how do we compact everything in such a small amount of time, right? So it's amazing what they're doing, but lead with value, love it, connect. It's not a competition. We're here to elevate and collaborate together. Definitely go around and go out and, support Veterans Grow in America. I can tell you the intentions are exactly what they need to be, right? They're pure. So I love it.
Absolutely. No, I appreciate it, brother. And then, we talked about BunkerLabs Veteran in Residence. Tomorrow, I've got my other thing, which is the BunkerLabs Breaking Barriers cohort that I'm in as well, which they have different ones where they focus on Latinos, African Americans, et cetera, et cetera. So BunkerLabs, check them out if you're a veteran, military service member looking at trying to start your own business. It's an absolutely amazing opportunity. And next week we have a military family member that's actually running for U.S. Senate. So that'll be pretty interesting. It's gonna be a fun call. So
100%. Always thanks for doing what you do. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate it, brother. And thanks to our legends this week. This is a very fun episode. So
100%.
Yeah, thank you. So bon.
You've been watching the Lounge with Legends show, countering the narrative that veterans are all broken misfit toys. Veterans are the lifeblood of American freedom. Serving in harsh situations, coupled with their training, have forged them into some of the most resilient and capable leaders in the world. And that's where we come in, celebrating the success stories, taking you on a journey of transformation from military to business. We hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll be back soon. But find us on Facebook at Lounge with Legend or at JTF214. Till next time.